Yep.
ConversionOS, that's the theme here, but just give us the kind of the high level summary of what that is and how you've embraced AI, and I'll
Yeah.
throw in some questions from there.
Yeah. So ConversionOS is an AI powered sales system designed to help coaches, consultants, and service professionals create what I call the three foundational assets for their businesses so they can get more clients. A clear, compelling offer, a sales presentation that shares that offer with more than one person, and a client enrollment script that can turn conversations and calls into clients. And I don't know about you, but all of the more successful businesses that I've seen in that space, they've had those three things dialed in. Without those three things, no amount of traffic, no amount of speaking to prospective clients are going to help you consistently grow your business, right? I'm a big foundational guy. And whether you have a business or have a new idea, getting these three things nailed down is super vital. And so in the old days, we had to swim through bloated courses, we had to use generic templates, and we ultimately ended up guessing at how to apply this stuff to our businesses. Now with AI technology, we can literally I've programmed my frameworks for those things into AI tools that can literally guide the user through those things literally in one sitting, right? In minutes. I was just showing you before this recording. Like you could sit down and in a few hours or less have these assets written out and created for you. Then all you got to do is just plug them into an outside asset that I give you for those things, and you can start sharing your offers and start getting clients really quickly. So it's a really cool time we live in, and I've really embraced this new technology the last few years.
And just to add my own 2 cents to this, it's this, and we'll talk about the sales piece, right? So you've been world renowned for the making sales webinars and so forth. And if you get a course, and this has been my experience my entire career until now, is okay, I'm going to watch the course. I've got to the course is going to help me build belief in it and build my idea of what I need to do. Yeah, I get done with the course. Now I got to go back and say, okay, now how do I apply my stuff to this? And it's just like, okay, this goes here, and I'm trying to apply it and figure all this out. And then we go to create it. And what you've done, and I experienced this first with your Webby tool for webinars, is just like, because I'm the type's like, look, maybe I watch half a video and I'm like, okay, I believe you, John. I believe you know the best way to do the sales presentation. I just want my stuff to look like yours. And what you've done is you've basically said, hey, my framework, I've just put the entire course trained AI on my framework. And if you just give AI your uh, content, it's going to spit out the type of webinar I want you to do. So that's what excited me about all this. And now you've expanded that to all aspects because, yeah, once I get, okay, I know what I want to sell. I need the best way to sell it. You're saying, well, let's go back one step and let's do the same thing for your offer. And then let's do the same thing for your close if you're coaching. So I'll let you elaborate on that. But that's why this is so
Yeah.
exciting to me is we're saying hundreds, if not thousands of hours of training you can skip and just get right to the core of, as we mentioned offline. I said, oh my gosh, you're showing me. And I'm like, I can create an offer and a sales script and a closing phone call script and all that kind of stuff in, an hour maybe or a day when it would take me
Yeah.
years to figure all this
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, and the cool thing is I built this thing called a fast track that links all of those things together, right? So even just a short while ago, you'd have to kind of go between these different tools to kind of do those things. Now, I've linked them all together. That's what one of the things I was showing you before this, into what's called an AI workflow, where you have a series of these tools that all build upon each other. So you don't need to copy and paste as much. You don't need to go back and forth as much. You could literally just use the tool. It's all in one interface. It just walks you through, asks a few questions at each step, and then just outputs that asset for you. You can upload it as a PDF or just copy it into a doc that accompanies that section. And you're ready to go, right? You're ready to go out and do the most important thing, which is to actually get feedback and start sharing your stuff and actually start getting clients. Gone are the days of like having to learn for hours before you do, right? That curve is, it's important to learn things, don't get me wrong, but the best way to learn things, and this, get it done and get it out into the wild, right? Get some feedback on it, because sometimes your offer will hit and sometimes it'll miss. And it's better to be able to do that more efficiently than spend months dawdling, trying to learn something, and then finally putting something out there.
Yeah, to me, you're like the pioneer of this whole fast track side of things, and I've seen it now in a couple courses since your
Mm.
last release of your course, and you're, I agree. I don't think we're not saying skip learning it, but I know going through your tool, I was like, it's asking me this for a reason. Oh, I get it. And by the way, if you don't understand something, you're like, well, why am I? You could ask. You
Yeah,
could
sure.
ask the AI, why am I doing this? And you'd be like, well, because this. So it's like talking to having a 24
Yeah,
by 7 John Schumacher at your desk asking questions about my offer and
yeah.
my webinar and my closing script.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of a mix between like structure and flexibility, right? Which is cool about AI, because before it was just like, here's the videos, here's the templates, good luck, try to figure it out. Try to apply it to your business and your situation. With these tools, you have that structure, right? You can program that tool with the same structure that you would for like a course or a more strict learning curriculum. But like you said, you have the flexibility of asking it questions or getting some nuance and a lot more specificity to your specific situation. So it's the evolution of e-learning. It is, we're evolving from static experiences like courses and templates to dynamic experiences with AI tools, agents, and workflows, and all those kind of fancy words that if you don't know anything about that, don't worry. People like Ray and I are building those things out to make things easier for you.
And just like I'll tell you I got a course on summits, and one of the things was I spent, I don't know, 40 or 80 hours creating this complex. It was a Zap with Google Forms, and it would create, you type in your information and it would create uh based on a template your emails for the summit, and it would do all these things, and it was just so, but
That's
one
cool.
thing went wrong, and the fact of the matter is I can create that same thing today the way we're doing it with AI tools, in
Yeah,
in an hour, right?
sure.
And putting that output out there. But that's kind of exciting from the behind the scenes thing. But and frankly, anyone can add you can just go ask AI. It's like if you got a coaching program, it's like, hey, how do I help them with this? It's like you could create a mini AI prompt for them to use. You don't have to be an expert like John and
Yeah.
me trying to be of behind the scenes creating these things. But the I think especially now, AI has shown that speed rules, right? I mean, you could spend a year trying to figure this out. One of the things you showed me, let's talk about this from the front end offers, just, and I always hated that. It's like, who's your avatar? It's like, oh my gosh,
I know, right?
this is
It's
the
like the most
boring part.
annoying question
How
ever.
do I get pushed past this? And you just showed me like you fill in 4 questions, a fifth optional one, and it creates this customer profile avatar uh,
Yeah.
thing like instantly. Takes like a lot of the and researches the internet. Go ahead, I'll let you explain it, but it was just amazing.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. That's one of the most annoying questions. And the thing we always love to skip over, don't we? Is like, okay, yeah, I know my buyer. Don't bug me about it, right? But even experts like us, Ray, we forget some of the key ingredients to like a really strong, like, buyer blueprint. I call it like an ideal buyer blueprint, right? So it's like, here's the description. Like, are you, because it affects everything else, right? Like it all starts with who in marketing. And if you can produce an agency quality, well researched, because these tools will actually search the internet now, it'll search blogs, Reddit, Google, all those things, and incorporate that for you into an output that you can literally just copy and save and use for all of your marketing, right? And when you understand your ideal buyer's buying patterns, when you understand what a day in their life looks like and what they do throughout their day, when you understand the unique angle of your program and how it applies to them, there it is. You can plug that in to creating your offer, creating your emails, your presentations, your enrollment scripts. Like everything starts with who, because who gives us money? People, right? People give us money. People are who we help as coaches, consultants, service professionals. And so the more we know about those people, the better. Now, we often think we know, and yeah, I'm sure we do know quite a bit about our buyer, especially if you've been doing it a little while. Maybe you're new, maybe you don't. But the cool thing about AI and these tools is you can program it to create a very thorough description of that person, well beyond what I would come up with if I just sat down at a computer and started thinking about it. All right. I mean, it's just
Right.
amazing. So you can get that done literally in under a minute. Just it's done. Boom. It's gone. It's done. And then you can just parlay that into creating or optimizing your offer because now the tools know who your ideal buyer is in a bit in better detail. And so what's it going to be able to do? It's going to be able to help you create a better offer. Whether you have an existing offer, it's going to help you optimize your offer more cleanly. Or if you're building a new offer or a new offer idea, it's going to have that strong foundation to build upon, right? Because it all starts with who. And so I don't know. I geek out on that. It's not. I agree with you. It's one of I never loved like doing client research, right? I was like, oh, let me just put something cool together and put it out there, right? It's like that's how we always are, right?
Yeah.
But it helps us tremendously. The outputs I get are much better when I start with who, and instead of having to grind away at it, you can use AI now. Particularly, I have a tool called Avatar Craft that researches the internet, pulls all those things in, and it just everything builds into the next thing, to the offer, to the presentation, to the enrollment scripts, and you then have like your foundational assets done, and everything else works better when you have those things dialed in. When your offer's dialed, when you know how to turn a conversation into a client, what happens? All your marketing efforts work better. All of your conversations go better. Everything just works when you have those things in place.
I mean, the advent of how good AI is at, especially like you mentioned, even stuff, I figure I know everything I need to know about summits in the top of my head. That's not true because if I could put something in, it's like, oh, I forgot about that one thing, or oh, I never even
Yeah,
thought of that before.
totally.
It fills in the gaps there, but also the compelling thing for me is my audience is authors looking to create some kind of income on the back end of their books. They realize that their book is, more of a business card, an authority piece.
Yep.
But the real money is going to come from what else, helping people take the next step after their book. And I always tell people the fastest thing you can do is coaching because you could
Mm.
just start doing that right away. It's simple to say, and I say that to people all the time, but I don't give them here's a path to do it. It's like, go do it. And it's like, well, where do I start? And now you've
Right.
got a tool that basically says, well, what are you trying to do?
Yep.
Okay, here's your
It,
avatar. Here's your sales script. Here's your sales webinar script. And then here's,
Yeah. Gives you the foundations that you need to make everything else work. And even if we've been in business a while, it's still a good thing to do, right? So
yeah,
whether you have an offer or whether you're creating a new idea, this will help speed up that process, right? It just speeds it up and not just speed it up, but actually, I think make it better. Like I'm better and faster, not just faster because of these technologies. So it's pretty cool. So
yeah. I
anyway,
mean, I mentioned offline and I'll kind of end with this. It's like, I've been doing webinars for a long time. I've followed your model to a certain point, but when I got the tool, and this is built into your ConversionOS, the middle section there, the sales webinar, and I'm running all my old webinars through there because I want them to be 100% John Schumacher style webinars. You've
yeah.
researched how this should work. I can just run it through there. So even though
Yep.
I've got the slides and all that stuff, it's like, let's just clean this up. And you can do that very fast, efficiently. I can go back now and check my avatars. I can go back, phone conversation, phone scripts, and so forth. So yeah, it's just amazing stuff. And
It's
I
fun
think,
times.
yeah, I appreciate you sharing. John's on the cutting edge of this stuff, everybody. So if you get a chance, we'll put a link below this video. You can check out his latest stuff. But if you're looking to really enhance your business, make it things work, get the things done. You got a new offer, run it through here. Got your old one,
Yep.
run it through here. And clean everything up like that. Whether you're starting new or experienced, there's some really cool things you can do now and speed it up. So
Yeah, absolutely. So I appreciate you chatting, Ray.
yeah,
Thank you so
all right.
much.